Skirball for their exhibit on punk rock. Let's go check it out.
Yes. Who are they?
The Ramones.
The Ramones. So let's go get out of this hallway doorway so we don't get mowed over by the baby strollers. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about the Ramones. Know their music?
Yes.
Beatles on speed. Is that right? We'd say, well, what is the difference between regular rock and roll and punk? There's a difference. Does anybody know? Punk is much faster. The tempo is da, 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 and rock and roll is da 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 da, you know. And punk is no solos, and the music, the songs are much shorter, like a third shorter than regular rock and roll music. So the Ramones were the very, very first punk band. There were 4 kids from Queens, New York. They had a garage band. They were playing, you know, just for fun in school. And somebody heard them and decided to make a record. And they did. They made the first album was they made it for $6,000. The whole thing for $6,400. And yeah. And they sold millions. So you can imagine how, you know, what a huge amount of money that they made. So, come on in. Have any of you heard of Patti Smith? Yes. Come on, guys. So Patti Smith, we call her the godmother of punk because she was really the one that started it. It started in America and particularly in New York. The Ramones were the first ones. And Patti Smith, she played there were 2 clubs that actually played punk. Both of them were in New York City. One was called Max's Kansas City, and that was started out as an Italian restaurant, and it was right in Union Square, right where all these abstract expressionist artists lived, and they used to come in there for meals. And the head guy of all these artists was Andy Warhol. So he used to bring in all his artist friends to listen to music, to eat, and instead of paying the guy, the owner of the restaurant, whose name was Jerry Raskin, he would just exchange it for his artwork. And evidently it worked out well for both of them. Yeah, it did. So Patti Smith, she played at Max's KC, and she used to bring out other performers too. And one of the performers that she brought out was Bruce Springsteen. And I thought that was pretty remarkable, you know. That she gave him a chance. That was like his first concert that she brought him out in, and the punk just went from there. So Jerry Raskin opened a second room, which he made an actual nightclub room, and that was so successful that he opened a third room. That was the real punk rockers. That was called the back room. So, have you guys all heard of Blondie? Yeah. So Deborah Harry, who was the lead singer of Blondie, she started her career working as a waitress at Max's KC. And she got her band together, but where did they play? They played at another club called CBGB's. CBGB's in New York. And CBGB's was run by a guy by the name of Hillel Crystal. He was the owner of that place. He was a kind of a crazy, what do I call that, an irresponsible kind of crazy guy. And he would hire all these bands to come in. You know, everybody wanted to play at CBGB. I cannot get it out. They all wanted to play there because this was the hottest club around. But he had, Hilly Crystal had just one requirement, that all the songs that they played had to be their own. They couldn't play somebody else's music, and if they did, they were kicked out on their behinds and out the door. So it was all their own stuff. So these are, and oh, I didn't tell you about where these posters came from. We have a huge collection of posters here. They don't belong to the Skirball. They belong to actually a board member of the Skirball. He lent them to us. And you're gonna see these all are here, and I'm gonna ask please no touching, just looking. But you can photograph as much as you want. So let's continue over here. The Ramones got pretty famous. I even remember seeing the Ramones once on the Ed Sullivan show many years ago. And I think that was the only punk band ever on that show. So they had their logo. They had a logo like this that looked like the United States of America, you know. And the names were Joey, Johnny, Tommy, and Dee Dee. And from the four of them, from the four of them, two of them, Tommy and Joey were Jewish. In fact, Tommy was he was an immigrant from Hungary, who came, I guess, when Hungary had that revolution, and a lot of people were able to get out of there. But he came with his parents and met up with these guys and made the garage band. So there were two groups. There were the American group and the English group. The English group, let's go this way. The main English group, there were really two main English groups. One was called the Sex Pistols. Have you all heard of the Sex Pistols? And the other one was called the Clash. So I had never heard any of this music, so I went to my Alexa and I said, Alexa, play the music of the Clash. Very nice music. I liked it. You know, you can just dance around your kitchen. The Ramones, the Clash, that was music. The Sex Pistols, in the words of one of these guys, the guitarist, he said, we don't make music, we make chaos. And that was the absolute truth. So I'm sure, have you heard any of the names of these guys of the Sex Pistols? Who?
Oh, well, I know them all, but you mean Sid Vicious or Steve Jones?
One was Johnny Rotten. The whole idea was that these people, all of them, all the punkers, they were anti-establishment, anti-authority, anti-war, anti-fascism, anti-Nazism, anti-monarchy, anti-big money, anti-police, anti-law and order, and organized religion, and very pro-anarchy. So you have to think about why were these young people so angry at that time, because they were angry and really aggressive. They were angry because you think of the decade before 1976, like in the 1960s to the 70s, we had the Vietnam War, we had all the assassinations, the Kennedys and Martin Luther King. You had the civil rights, and I don't know if you guys, all of you live in LA? Do you remember the Watts riots? Yeah. I mean, I was afraid to go out of my house. It was a scary time. So they said, you know what? You guys did not do so well in the last decade, so we don't care about what you think. We're just going to do what we want. And that's what they did. That's absolutely what they did. So, and you're going to see, why are all these clothing things here? Because the managers of the Clash and the Sex Pistols was a man by the name of Malcolm McLaren, who absolutely happened to be Jewish. With that name, you never know it, but he was. He took his stepfather's name, and he was in a very close relationship with this woman who was a clothing designer. In fact, she was such a famous clothing designer. She designed for the royal family, and she was given I don't know what to call it, a knighthood, but she was made a dame. So her name was Dame Vivian Westwood, and she designed all her clothes. And you can see the pictures of Queen Elizabeth with the safety pin in her mouth and all this really disgusting stuff. And because they hated the monarchy. So she designed all these clothes, and they had two stores. One store was in New York City, and the other store was in London. And they both had the same name, Sex. So the idea was to shock. Let's shock it. Let's do whatever we can to wake people up and shock them into seeing what's going on in the world. And they did.
Is the clothing from the same person who provided the flyers?
Is the what?
The clothing here, is it provided by the same person?
Yes, and I told you that this was, that we had a board member of this that collected all this stuff.
Who was it? What's his name?
Yeah.
I don't know. Do you know?
No, that's why I wanted to.
Oh, I don't know. They don't tell me those things. So
So everything in this exhibit's from the same person?
it is from
Wow.
the same, and that's why all the posters that are put up here, they're not even put up with thumbtacks. They're put up with little magnets, and because they don't want to damage them at all. And so our board member had collected all the stuff from the LA punk movement and the New York and Washington, wherever else they had them. But he had a cousin that had a store in London that collected all the English stuff, and he just sent it to him. And so the one guy had all this interesting
I kind
stuff.
of feel like the collector of the person is Steve Jones.
Pardon?
Oh, Steve Jones?
I think it's Steve Jones.
Yeah. Steve Jones.
He was a Sex Pistols.
He was a tour. Yeah, and then he was like, yeah.
Is he on the board?
I think he might be on the board. That's why.
Yeah, it could be.
I think it's Steve Jones.
You can definitely look it up. Yeah. Okay. So
He worked at the store. He would have had all of those clothes.
oh yeah. Well,
Steve Jones worked at,
yeah,
Sex in London.
he had a store. So we're gonna move on to these are some of the other bands that were playing, the American bands.
Over there.
And we're gonna go and we're gonna round the corner here and we're gonna look and see the LA bands.
My friends just like.
Have any of you been to any of these?
Everything.
Everything? Oh my God. Oh my God.
He's not on the board.
No.
Is Henry Rollins on the board?
But I think, you know, if I would have known what my kids were getting into, because there is a movie that tells you all about the
Rollins.
Yeah,
Talking about the one,
it's called The Decline of Western
Black Flag.
Civilization. My God. I think if I would have known, I would have never let them out of the
Dallas,
So after the N, there's no G.
That's about the LA.
Oh, Rollins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's another one about
You can get it on Amazon Prime free. They don't charge. And there's another one called.
There's a lot of good documentaries.
There's another one about the place in New York where
CBGBs.
the CBGB, but the movie has a different name. And if you guys all remember the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
No.
So the Red Hot Chili Peppers were 4 kids that went to Fairfax High School that started a garage band, and they became very, very famous. Yeah, but they were really not, they were sort of the end of punk.
This was our era. We saw that.
Black Flag, Black Flag, X, those are all LA bands. And X, I know, is going to be playing a concert. And here, in the Reseda Country Club, I think it was, it's either X or Black Flag, one or the other. Oh, really? Somebody told me.
Sometimes Exene plays or sometimes John Doe. Yeah, they might be playing for some special thing, but
Oh, okay. Okay, but that's what I was told, that they're going to be playing a concert at the Reseda Country Club, which I didn't even know Reseda had a country club.
it's not a country club, it's a punk
No,
club.
it's a punk rock venue, that's what I thought.
I didn't know it was still there.
So these are all like the LA,
The Go-Go's are in rock and roll.
oh yeah, the Go-Go's. Yeah, they were great. They were an all-girl group. Yeah, that was kind of unusual because up until this time, the only ones that even had women in them were the Bags. They were an LA band, the Bags, and they had 2 women in their band. So there's a video here that you can watch, but we're not going to watch it now. You can watch it after. These are all what we call the hardcore LA. These are all the LA bands and where they were playing. I mean, we've had a lot of musicians come in here and say, oh yeah, I played with this band and that one and the other one. We had a guy come in that played with a band called the Urinals, you know, all crazy stuff, and he said they're going to be playing a concert at the Corbin Bowl on September the 25th, and they made them change the name. They said they didn't like that name, the Urinals. Now it's called 100 Flowers.
This is a poster from Decline of Civilization.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
That's
That's the, and yeah, that's if you see that movie,
yeah.
you want to, you've seen it?
She was in it.
She was in it, huh? Oh, man. Okay, and here's a little map of all the venues that were here. I'm sure you've been in many of them. I think one of the real popular ones was the Mask.
That was in the beginning, yes, the Mask is one of the originals.
You have my daughter, she said, oh yeah, we went to the Mask. Like,
That's where X goes, that's where they all started.
Madam Wong's, I remember that one.
Two
Madam Wong's. We had one in Chinatown and one in Santa Monica.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was a good one.
Right. And I mean, like some of these clubs, the Lhasa Club, that I've never heard of that. But some of these other clubs I should have seen. Yeah. Yeah. So I was driving down Sunset Boulevard in an Uber car, and I happened to notice the whiskey was still there on Sunset.
Oh, yeah.
And the Roxy was still there, and the Troubadour, that's
Yes.
in Santa Monica. That's still there.
Oh, Cafe du Grand, that was great.
That's been there for wow,
Yeah.
probably 50, 60 years. The Troubadour.
Al's Bar, Nadine. I used to hang out there.
We're all going down memory lane.
Well, how can you not? They're showing you the name of the bar you hung out
More
at.
like loss of memory lane.
Yeah, well, it's coming back to us. This is like fun. Why would we come otherwise?
You're getting your memory jogged.
Yeah. It was a good time, trust me. Very good time.
They were. And so these are really, these are what we call the do-it-yourself posters because, you know, they didn't have managers. All these bands, they were just kids or, you know, just musicians that got together. And so they did it, and they would do their posters themselves. They ran it off on their parents' printers and went and advertised, like attacking these things to telephone poles, bus stops, wherever they could advertise. And that's all they really needed. And these are the real hardcore ones, like the Circle Jerks and the Germs, the Weirdos. Yeah. And a lot of these bands are still playing today.
I know, we were going to say, you can see the Minutemen all the time.
Right. Yes, they are. Wasted Youth. Oh my God. The Dead Kennedys, they were big.
Yeah, they were big. We all had the T-shirt.
Oh,
We thought
really?
that was so cool from the album cover.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Oh, sure.
Holiday in Cambodia. This is so fun.
Yeah, isn't it?
It's so fun. I know so many friends that are Canada.
Yeah,
And it took me like an hour and a half to get here.
the last time I did this, I think I had 80 people.
I'm sure. And it's almost closing.
That was
September 9th.
closing September 6th.
6th, yeah, we made it. Better late than never.
Okay, so these pictures over here, the only reason that they are here is because these were all taken by female photographers.
Oh, aha. Yes.
What was her? What was her name?
Maxine. Yeah, her voice still sounds good.
Pardon?
Her voice still sounds good.
Yeah.
She's the lead person, the lead singer of X.
Oh wow. Yeah. So these are you know all of the photographs that were taken by women photographers. Not particularly at the clubs, but wherever.
And over here is where like the movie theater,
When did the exhibit open? When did the exhibit open?
At the beginning of July, I think. I don't think they publicized it. They really didn't publicize it a lot. They didn't think it was going to be popular.
Surprise.
Surprise, surprise.
Wearing a Stiff Records t-shirt.
Till September the 6th. September the 6th, it's closing. They should have closed up the comic books and kept this one.
I don't know, the comic one is, we're going back. It's pretty.
Do you know when the
freaking
comic book
amazing.
one is closing?
That's going till February.
Oh, great.
Fabulous. Great.
So that's currently open too?
It's open, it is unreal. And we're not comic book people, but
We are now.
I have a new appreciation of the art and its origins. And yeah, you gotta go.
That's awesome. I'll check it out.
Yeah, mix. That was an overstatement.
Well, yeah.
And one side said rap, the other side said rap. And we always thought,
And I gave it days.
Right. So there were, if you notice, you know, there were Latino bands, there were all kinds.
I remember going on and I'm like, oh,
I don't know why that is, but that was
I save
Do you have the
everything.
cassette player?
It's sad. I mean, I don't have this, but I have my little version.
Can you play the cassettes though? Do you have a player?
Oh, no. Who has a cassette player?
I know, right?
I don't.
It's still cool to have them.
By the way, they still sell cassettes at music venues.
Oh, I
now.
remember we would get a pencil and we'd have to
Of
rewind it
course,
when we got
yeah,
saved.
yeah.
Yes.
No, but I mean,
I
bands
still have
today.
8 tracks. I mean, that was high school.
I wonder what's worth more, the cassettes or the 8-track?
The 8 tracks. I got some 8 tracks. Recently, I had like an estate sale.
Yeah.
And they did go for the 8 tracks.
Nice.
Yeah.
Did you have vinyl too?
I did not sell my vinyl.
Okay.
I have my
Yeah.
vinyl. Yeah.
I have my vinyl still.
Yeah, me too. There's something about it. And with the album covers and everything,
Oh,
you
yeah.
just don't want to,
Of course.
you don't want to mess with it.
Yeah.
Have you seen that documentary Squaring the Circle?
Oh, it's so good.
It's
Yeah?
about
the
record
artists.
covers and the artists that did many of the
Do you know,
iconic record covers.
there's one of the cool guys lives in Rancho Pass Verde, and his name is John Van Hammersfeld, and he did a Jimi Hendrix album cover, a bunch of them, but he's the original guy that did the End of Summer poster for the movie.
Oh, wow, yeah.
And he did some amazing album covers, and they sell some posters and stuff. I think it's called Pop Art. I can look it up. She has a website where she sells all the posters.
Like originals?
You can get originals or you can get signed prints. Right here.
So what happens after punk? Well, we know punk is still going, not even close to being done. But they're saying that a lot of the punk bands morphed into new wave bands and different kind of music, and like Billy Idol, he got it. He was inducted into the Grammy Hall of Fame.
Generation X was the original Billy Idol band. There's this picture up there. It says 45 Generation X. That says
Wow. Let's see. How many of you have buttons? You guys have buttons from the concerts? My daughter's here. Okay, guys, I think you know more than I do.
Some of us.
You know more than I do, so anyway, I'm going to sign off.
Thank you so much.
They were surfers, they were skateboarders, and in some cases, they were very violent surfers. So, out came the song Nazi Punch Struck Off.
The Dead Kennedys also got tagged with that hardcore punk. Most people would concur it was kickstarted by the adherents of the band. They came here very early in April 1977, caused a sensation. The bands, the Germs, the Weirdos, the Screamers, another great band. Never recorded it was played.
Yeah.
Disappeared from the
Screamers were one of the most important influences on conservatives. As I said, there was both British stuff was influences, but also there was something like the Screamers felt, I think, was probably my first punk rock show, official punk rock show.
I just wanted to tell you guys, all the people heard Halloween this punk rock exhibit at the when you come down. Yeah, then that we're into this, if they weren't. Have fun.
Outcasts.
I can't think of any right now.
Yeah. I can picture it in my head, but I'm not seeing it.
Maybe talking to you.
Just put out an album. Oh, really?
More in your face. The strangest thing was going to Washington, D.C., the denials of my breath, trying to go slow for the product. You know, this way of self-control. It was a counterculture to the counterculture. It's one of Ian MacKay's big things. Denials, Ian hugely influential bands. Like was hanging around, they were kind of like a second generation of bands. They were, this was even pre-Henry, because Henry was in Washington, D.C. This was first generation of the band, Keith Morris.
We always had this just like go for it attitude. Like you can't wait around for somebody to do something for you. You have to do it for yourself. I think a lot of that came out of the Black Flag days.
When you like Black started, it's a
Punk rock, the Dead Boys, the combination of Ramones, Sex Pistols. The Bad Brains started playing punk rock, getting faster for some reason. Punk was born. Earl, he wanted to go talk to a girl. He might play the songs all fast. I might be on stage looking at him like, dude, piss me off, man. Come on. Next thing you know, it becomes like a genre. I mean, like speed.
right around 92, everyone just curled up and started having their stomachs scratched by something. They kind of, and old people like me are going, you know, back in my day, we would have blown that up. I'm like, shut up, you old man.
It changed my attitude. It changed my attitude to culture. It changed my attitude to what was possible. And I think I learned to go against the system a little bit.
Punk proved to people, and it's now ingrained in people, that what they thought was impossible is not impossible.
You didn't have to wait. to start doing something. If you wanted to do it, you could try doing something.
You only need 5% or less to like embrace ideas and change it. Change the way people think all over again.
It becomes a lineage. These people find each other in this timeline. Gross. And say, fuck this. And everyone goes, voice of a generation, thank you. I've been thinking that. I never had the guy.